Yo guys, what's going on? It's Stinger Beats here, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made my For Me To You type beat. This has been long awaited, and I'm sorry for the delay, but it's been a whole process and a half making this. So, a couple of weeks ago, I uploaded a couple of For Me To You type beats, just like, in the same time span that Quadeca dropped the album, and they did really, really well. Thank you guys so much for that. I think, the one that I'm going to be going over today has like 3,000 views right now, so that's pretty crazy. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of requests as like, oh, what 808 did you use, or oh, how did you do this part, or oh, what riser did you use? That was one that I got a lot. So I figured I'd just make a tutorial and give away all the sauce. So let's just jump right into it. All right, so in the intro, it's pretty basic. All I have is these three ambiences, which is a water treatment facility. It's basically just like wind. That was the closest I could find to wind. And then I've got wind chimes just to add like a little bit of melodics. And then this copy of the water treatment facility, but I put deep blue glitch on them. This is what they all sound like individually. So this one's the water treatment. Yeah, super simple. Here's the wind chimes. And then here's the second instance of the water treatment facility. Let me just show you what I put on it. I put this, or I use this a lot. It's basically just like, what's it called? Like Effectrix, but it's free. So this is just when you open it up, it'll randomize all of these. And it'll sound terrible if you put it on anything else, but I just put it on this ambience just to give it a little bit of glitchiness. So this is what it sounds like. It's like super subtle, but it kind of makes a difference. And then also for the intro, I used, let me pull it up real quick. I think it's this one. Yeah, for the intro, I used an EQ to cut out the lows and the highs, and then I also put the stereo separation down to mono. That way, when like the track starts, it sounds more full. So this is just what the intro sounds like altogether. I didn't want to do anything too crazy for the intro because in a lot of Quadeca's songs, it doesn't just like bam start. It's not like, like The Baby, where like it just like starts instantly. So that's for the first the first 4 bars of the intro. After those 4 bars, I added in the main melody, but I put it an octave lower. And because of like taking out the highs and the lows in the master, it's super, super subtle. This is just what it sounds like. See, super simple. And this is what it sounds like with all of the ambience. It's super hard to hear, but I just liked adding it just so like there's a little lead up, like a little sneak peek to the actual melody. You can like barely hear it. Alright, and then after those 4 bars, I added these 2 whooshes to transition to the actual intro of the beat. I mean, I guess that's an intro, but it's not really like a real intro. One of them I think is just a basic one. Let me see. Yeah, that's just a basic whoosh that I use in every single one of my beats. It's in my 1K drum kit, so that's on my BeatStars. I think I'll put my drum kit in the link down below. It's completely free, by the way. And then this is the second instance of it where I just stretched it out and put pancake on it to make it go left and right. This is what it sounds like. So if you have headphones in, you could really like, oh shoot, I just kicked my tripod. Yeah, if you have headphones in, you could really tell what it sounds like. Alright. So those whooshes basically just lead into the actual melody in its original tonality. So the one before was an octave lower. And then I also kept in one of the ambiences. So this is what the transition sounds like. Oh yeah, and also I took out the EQ that took out the highs and the lows. And then for stereo separation, I put it back to stereo. Not like completely stereo, but you know what I mean, just how it's supposed to be. So this is what the transition sounds like. see how it sounds like more full because of the stereo separation. I don't know. I do that with some of my beats, but like when I want to make it more impactful. So that's that. And then that basically just repeats until the chorus. So leading up to the chorus, we have those two whooshes again. They're exactly the same. And then we have these two risers. So this riser has a lot of like low end and it's very airy. And then this riser right here has a whole lot of high end and it sounds like super glitchy. So this is just this one. And then this is the second one. And then together it sounds like this. So like without a riser, it wouldn't have been as impactful because it's just the lead up to the chorus. I mean, the whooshes kind of would have done the job, but the whooshes aren't very like impactful. You can like kind of hear them, but with these risers, they're very prominent. So that basically just transitions into the chorus. So let's break down the chorus real quick. For the melody, I kept it exactly the same. And I added in a lead. Let me find it real quick. So this is from Citrus. It's the synth 8 bass, but I took out the low ends and added a bunch of like reverb and distortion and pancake, so it sounds like a lead. So this is what it sounds like on its own. It basically just follows the bass notes of the original melody. And then I added in like these little glitches here and there just to give it like the more from me to you feel, because all of his beats are like super glitchy and whatnot. Alright, aside from the synth, this is what I did for the drums. They're super simple. Let me just solo this 808. So I used the Viper distorted 80810. It's from the Cymatics Viper kit. I lied on my beat. I thought I used the super long 808 from the Cymatics Chaos pack, but I didn't, so I'm sorry for lying. This is what the 808 sounds like. So super distorted. I added a wider and then a fast distortion. Wider basically just obviously makes it wide, but it also gives like an airy feeling to it. So this is it without any effects. It sounds kind of good, but not as good as it does with the effects. Alright. I also added in a kick to match the 808 pattern. Literally nothing is different about it. And then I also added in this open hat that basically just hits whenever the kick does, just to give it more high end. So this is what the drums, the lead, and the main melody sound like all together. So already it sounds pretty impactful and kind of like cinematic. So to add on to like I don't know, just the whole vibe of it, I kept this ambient just to give it more tone. And then I added in this impact. This is what it sounds like. So basically like the risers just rise up, and then instead of it just like hitting on the drums, it hits on the impact as well. So it just kind of sounds more complete. And then I also added in like various little effects. These are all from like Cymatics kits. I think this one's from the Chaos pack. No. Okay, these are all from like the Cymatics Viper kit. So I think this one's like a little robot scream. So I added reverb, turned up the decay, and used some fast distortion. This is what it sounded like without it. But I didn't like how that sounded, so I just added a bunch of stuff. And it adds to like, you know, the glitchiness and the distortion of the track. And then I added in this alarm that just so happened to like be on key. This is what it sounds like. Like it just sounded good with the track. I accidentally played it. I didn't even want to put it in. I was like, oh, that actually kind of sounds sick. So that's just all the effects of the chorus, but now we're gonna get into the bread and butter of the chorus, this little glitch part right here. This like, what is this? One bar took more time than the actual beat, like the whole beat. trying to perfect this, like now I get Quadeca struggle. And I didn't even spend like a whole year on this like Quadeca does, dude. That fool really perfects his craft. So, leading into this little glitch thing, I added this riser. I think it's it's the same like glitchy riser from the transition over here. And then, I chopped it up into triplets, so this is what the chopped melody sounds like. So usually when I chop things, I'll take the one bar from this, but I wanted it to sound different and then lead into something different, if that makes any sense. And then this is what the chopped up drums sound like. It also has the, oh shoot, I just deleted that. It also has the lead, so this is what that sounds like. So with the lead, the drums are pretty self-explanatory. It's just bum, 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 bum. So, but with the lead, I did the same thing, except I did a little, I did a slide note down. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. But yeah, I did a little slide note down, just so when, like the glitchiness is over and it like resolves into the normal beat, it just flows better. And then I added in this impact from the beginning of it. So this is what that sounds like. And then adding in that impact, I didn't have it in at first, and it sounded like super, I don't know, incomplete, but adding in that impact really did it. And then what is this? I think this is like a little scream. Oh yeah, it's a little vox that I added like reverb on, and I think I added some distortion on it. This is what it sounds like. It's like super subtle in the track, but it kind of makes a difference. And then I also added in this reverse kick to make the transition more impactful. This is what it sounds like. And then I also added in this crash that kind of goes hand in hand with the impact. And then obviously I added in this whoosh. So this is what the whole glitchy thing sounds like. I'm sorry that took so long, but there's like so many elements to this. I really feel like that reverse kick really does the job, because this is what it sounds like without it. It sounds cool, but with the kick, it gives it that like clipping feel that a lot of tracks on From Me to You have. So after that, the chorus just continues. I keep kicking my tripod and I keep kicking this. So after that, the chorus just basically continues as it does, and then I added some whooshes in to transition into the next part of the track. So for the next part, I added in a piano melody just to switch it up, and kind of like, I was watching a video yesterday about like Cody. He was breaking down the Whipski beat, and he called it the roller coaster effect, where like, you know, the beginning of the track is super mellow, and then the chorus builds up, and then it goes back down. This is like where it goes back down on the roller coaster. Obviously, you could tell I'm not very like musically linguistic, but yeah, that's it right there. So this is what the piano melody sounds like. And then for the piano, I just used Keyzone Classic. I think I used the Steinway piano. Let me see. Yeah, I used the Steinway piano and just added an EQ to cut out the lows and a reverb. The piano doesn't sound very good on most beats, but since this is like a pretty experimental beat, it sounded pretty good. So this is what the transition sounds like between the chorus and the piano. So that's that. That continues for 8 bars. And then I add in some drums. They're pretty basic trap drums, except the claps have a lot of reverb on them. So this is what they sound like. And then I think for the hi-hats, oh, I know I didn't add pancakes, hold up. For the hi-hats, I varied the panning. Let me find it real quick, there you go. So I varied the velocity just to make them more humanized, and then I also varied the pan, just so it goes like, it like bounces left and right and plays with your ears. I wanted to do that a lot on this track because there's a lot of ear candy in From Me to You tracks. So that goes for about 7 bars, and then the transition into the second chorus starts. So the transition consists of the same things, these the reverse effects, the risers, the whooshes, the crashes, but I added in this drum fill with MT Power drum kit. I use it for all of my drums and like any of my beats, and it sounds really good. It's a free kit, so I would get it. So this is what the drum fill sounds like. I added in a trap kick just to make it more impactful, because the kick in MT Power drum kit is like a normal, you know, drum set kick, and it's not very hard hitting. So this is what the transition sounds like. I'm not gonna play it into the chorus yet, but this is what it sounds like. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also added in that robot scream again. Alright. Now for the second chorus. Sorry, the robot's just screaming. So for the second chorus, I still kept the same melody, and then I added in the piano melody again, just to, you know, retain some stuff in the verse. And I switched up the 808. I used the same 808, but I added a whole lot more distortion. So this is what it sounds like. And then I also switched up the pattern just to make it more busy. It's kind of like trap metal-esque, but I think it sounds like really, really good. And I also added in a live drum pattern. This is what it sounds like. Just to give it a lot more high end with the open hats. And then the snare is really quiet because I also have another snare in here, but it kind of makes a difference. Alright, so this is the lead. It's pretty much the same aside from this little glitch part right here, but I'll get into that later. And then right here is the trap drums. They're pretty different from this one, so this is what they sound like. So there's a lot more reverb on the clap. I think I layered it with another reverb clap. And then there's more percussion in the left and right ears, just as more ear candy and more variation. So this is what the drop sounds like with the transition. So I didn't want to just keep the same chorus as last time. I wanted it to be a whole lot more impactful, and there's a huge difference between this chorus and the other chorus. So one thing with from me to you type beats, a lot of things that you see on YouTube is, like in just generic YouTube tutorials, is to keep your beats simple. But for these kind of beats, that is not the case. You want it to be like as busy, as varied as possible, just to give it, like, I don't know, that from me to you feel. So the chorus pretty much stays the same aside from this little glitch right here, but like it has the same two effects, that little robot scream and then the alarm. But the glitch right here is a lot different. So I used the same little triplet glitch, but I added in a lot more things. Okay, so the 808 is at a higher octave. This is what it sounds like. And I like slid the 808s a bit just to give it like a little bit of glitchiness. So this is like the little glitch right here, and then it plays on these two octaves and slides down to this note. For the lead, I did kind of the same thing. I put it at a higher octave and slid it down, so this is what it sounds like. And then as for everything else, it's kind of the same, like the drums, so like just a triplet hit. Alright, and then right here, I added in a little shatter effect, so this is what it sounds like. Pretty subtle, but I think it kind of makes a difference. Same impact, same little scream, same reverse kick, same crash, and same whoosh, but the things that are different is I took out the melody right here, and then obviously the different 808 pattern and the lead. So this is what this glitch sounds like. So after that chorus, the melody plays for a bit. This is the one octave lower, and then this is the normal tonality. with a bit of ambience, and then at the end my tag plays. So that's basically it. It was a lot to cover. I'm sorry it took so long, but thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for requesting this. Sorry for taking so long to release this. This is just a little bit loaded, but thank you guys so much. If you guys learned something new, please be sure to hit that like or consider subscribing. Thank you so much. Have a good day.